Hello students, today I am going to explain the first poem Dust of Snow from your English textbook First Flight. The poem is written by Robert Frost. Robert Lee Frost was a 20th century American poet. He was born in San Francisco and died in Boston in USA. His work was initially published in England before it was published in America. He was the only poet who received Pulitzer Prize 4 times for his contribution to poetry. Central idea of the poem. Dust of Snow by Robert Frost is a simple and a very short poem, yet symbolically it has a deeper meaning. The poet explains how an act of experiencing the fall of snowflakes on one's body can brighten up one's day. The poem also expresses the significance of smaller things which impact our thoughts. On a winter day, the poet, who is in a sad mood, is sitting under a hemlock tree. Soon, a crow sitting on one of the branches of the tree shakes its feathers, and the droplets of snow fall on the poet. This changes his mood, and he spent the rest of the day far from being unhappy and sad. Now let's look into the first stanza of this poem, Dust of Snow. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. The summary of this stanza is, in this stanza, the poet recollects a small incident that changed his mood. The poem is set in a mood where the poet is feeling depressed and hopeless. He is standing under a hemlock tree, which is a poisonous tree. At this time, a crow sitting on it happens to shake its feathers, and some tiny droplets of snow fall on the poet. Here, the two agents of nature, the crow and the hemlock tree, represent sadness. Hemlock tree is an inauspicious tree and it is a bad omen, or it is symbolic of sadness. In the same way, the crow is also not considered as an auspicious bird like other birds like cuckoo, nightingale, peacocks, etc. And its color, the black, which is symbolically represents a bad omen, and black color is symbolic of sadness. Thus, the hemlock tree and the crow are the signifiers of sadness and gloom, just like the poet's mood. Let's look into the glossary and the poetic device used in this stanza. Dust of snow means tiny particles of snow. Hemlock, a poisonous plant with small white flowers. Now, the rhyming scheme of this stanza is AB, AB. I'll tell you how to find the rhyming scheme. Look at the last word of first line, that is crow. We write here A. Then second line, last word is me. It is not rhyming with crow, so we write as B. Third line, last word is snow. Snow and crow are rhyming, so it is again A. Here the last word is tree, which is rhyming with me. So last word is B. In this way, we know that crow and snow are rhyming, so they are A. Me and tree are rhyming, so they are B. The rhyming pattern of this stanza is AB, AB. Then the poetic device used here. First enjambment, then internal rhyme and assonance. So these are the figure of speech or the poetic devices used by the poet here in this stanza. Now let's see what is enjambment. Enjambment means when the same sentence continues to the next line without any use of punctuation mark. It is called a enjambment. Here you can see that the first line, there is no punctuation mark. So the second line is the continuation of the first line. And third line also in the same way, the continuation of the second line. So there is no punctuation marks like full stop, comma, semicolon, nothing is used here. So this type of poetic license is called enjambment. Then internal rhyme. In this stanza, internal rhyme, the rhyming words are crow and snow, then me and tree. These are the rhyming words here. Okay. Then assonance. What is assonance? Assonance means the prominence of vowel sound throughout the line is called assonance. Here you can see crow, on, of, snow, hemlock. In all these words, crow, on, of, hemlock, which sound is prominent? The vowel sound O. O sound is prominent. So we can say that the device used by the poet here is assonance. Hope that it is clear. Now we move on to the second stanza of this poem, Dust of Snow. Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. In this stanza, the poet is trying to say that the falling of snow on the poet's body brightened up his mood. He had already spent his day in a bad mood. He was very depressed and dejected. But the rest of the day was saved by the hemlock tree and the crow. Generally, these crow and the hemlock tree are the symbolic representation of negative factors such as sadness, hopelessness, depression, etc. But the dust of snow, which stands for some natural joy or something which is joyful, it fall on the poet and gave happiness to his mind. And it means that the sad day is going to change into something joyful for the poet. After falling of that snow particles on his body, he says that the remaining part of the day would be happier for him. Let's look into the glossary and the poetic device. Rude means regret. The rhyming scheme is CD, CD. Same way, CD, CD, how to find that I'll tell you now. Here, the last word you see, heart, then mood, part and rude. So heart and part are rhyming, but these words are not rhyming with the words of first stanza. That's why that A, B, A, B, after that we give here C. Okay, and heart and part are rhyming, so this also C. Then mood and root, so after C we'll write here D, and this is also D. So C, D, C, D is the rhyming pattern of this stanza. Then poetic device, alliteration and synecdoche. These are the poetic devices used by the poet in this stanza. Now let's see what is alliteration. Here, alliteration means the repetition of consonant sound. See here, first line here, has, heart. In these two words, the first her sound is repeated. Okay, has and heart. So the sound her, that is repeated in both these words. So the figure of speech is called alliteration. Okay, alliteration is used here. Then synecdoche. Synecdoche means when a part represents whole or a whole is representing a part. Such device is called a synecdoche. Here you know that heart is a part of our body, and this part is actually representing the whole person, the poet himself. So here this device is called a synecdoche. Okay, when a part is representing the whole, that is called a synecdoche. Now the message, what message you are getting through this poem? This poem throws light on the unimaginable healing power of tiny elements of nature. The poet is trying to convey that the various elements of nature have the power to cure. The dust of snow instantly made the poet happier. If the snow had not fallen on him, he would have had a very sad and depressed day ahead. But the falling of snow instantly brought happiness to his mind, and his day got a lot better thereafter. Thus, the poet is giving a message. Sometimes a positive change can take place through negativity also. Hence, one should never become hopeless and sorrowful when he faces problem. Hope that this poem is clear to you all. Thank you.